I love these things. Whatever you want to do
So it's a 2-car garage. I've got a little less than half of it dedicated to the gym.
Okay.
Which is a big change from like a clear patch on my living room floor, which is where it all started. But so right now I've got the Titan X3 rack, which you can see back there.
Yeah.
The flat foot version, which I love.
Nice. I've got the bolt down. I love those things.
Yeah. So it's get down here and see, so you can see that, it doesn't need to be bolted down or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's very stable, real doesn't move around really hardly at all. One of my things that I try and focus on is the right way to save money. And I think that sometimes people are like, well, I'd rather have a rogue rack. So they go with a 2x2 and they'll bolt it down. And then they've got something that's not necessarily structurally sound or safe or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it says rogue on it. Whereas here I'm saving the money by going with a lesser known brand, but it's 3x3, it's heavy gauge steel. It weighs a ton. It's not moving around. When I re-rack on a squat or something like that, it's stable.
Yep.
So, I've got a buddy who works out on a 2x2, and every time I see his videos on Instagram where he re-racks a squat, I'm like, that thing's gonna fall over. So yeah, so it's but this is one of my favorite things. So
Nice.
And there's the Rep AB 5200 bench.
Yeah.
That's relatively new.
Mm-hmm.
I had the AB 3000, which is actually behind me here. I'm gonna be selling that pretty soon.
Okay.
Weight storage over here. I used the Fringe Sport bumper plates.
Okay.
And then I've got some urethane change plates for some smaller weights. Also, I found those come in handy for things like landmine where you don't want such a big diameter plate.
A question. One, how do you like the grips on those? And two, why the preference over metal?
So I'm actually going to do a couple of videos on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do any CrossFit. I don't do any Olympic lifts. I have no functional reason for bumper plates.
Okay.
So number one, I just like the fact that they're all the same size.
Okay.
That's aesthetically pleasing to me. A stupid reason is when I've got a low amount of weight on the bar, it still looks like a lot.
Yep. Yeah.
So, which is why I think they're popular on Instagram. It looks like you're lifting a lot more than you are. When I use those 25s up there to put them, I'm like, God, they look so small and tiny. I feel so weak just by looking at them. But so there's that. I like the fact that I can get I've got some lower back problems. So I'll do like some hip thrusts and things like that. So I like the larger diameter where I can just roll the bar over my torso.
Okay.
So I actually use them a lot to stand on for like rear foot or front foot elevated split squats, or I'll use them to prop up the end of the bench. Those tend to work better than the metal plates for that.
Okay.
They stack together a little bit more easily.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of reasons I like the bumper plates. It's definitely an expense I probably could have saved money on by going with a metal plate, but I enjoy them. I think if I was to rebuild the gym, which might be a project I do for the site, just to start from scratch and do it, would I do it the same or would I do it differently? I might go with like the Rep revolver plates or something like that, because they do, especially on my over here, you can see the Titan Easy Load hex bar.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite things. I hate loading a regular hex bar.
Yeah.
So that thing's phenomenal. But with bumper plates, I max out on the space. So I can lift more than the bar can hold. So It would be beneficial to have some narrower plates just because I could fit more on the bar.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem a lot. So
Sure.
I don't lift all that much. But on that particular bar, I do. I can't exceed the bar. So
on the urethane though, on the ones up top, the ones that actually have the grip plates.
Yep.
Do you like the fact that they are actual grip plates with rubber, or do you like any reason you went with that over like a straight metal face with nothing on it?
So this is urethane. So the urethane is it's kind of hard and it's not as grippy as rubber.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of rubber, the smell that comes with it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The gym we have where I work has all rubber coated plates. And every time I work out, no matter how, every time I would lift there, every time I would finish, my hands would just reek of rubber. And I dislike that. It's why I don't have stall mats in my gym. It's why I don't have really much rubber at all. It's actually one of the reasons I went with the French port bumper plates, because those are virgin rubber. They're one of the few plates that are virgin rubber. So right off the bat, they don't smell. They don't have that real strong odor or anything like that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, actually, one of the things that I wish these had is the handles.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know,
That's what I was
so
wondering.
These
Yeah.
are hard to move around sometimes.
Yeah.
I definitely haven't dropped the 25-pound one on my toe at all, ever. That never happened. So,
Dude, yes, that hurts so bad.
yeah, no, it's not fun.
Oh no, no,
So
no,
yeah,
no.
so I mean, there's pluses and minuses, but I like them overall. If you're gonna buy bumpers, I do like the French port ones. I think they're really well made.
Okay.
I beat the snot out of them.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
it's, they last pretty well. Moving around, I've got all the barbells that I don't need or use. It's
Don't we all?
yeah, I wouldn't call it a problem. I really have them more for the site than anything else.
Yeah.
Just I'm going to be doing some breakdowns on finishes and knurls and things like that, and I just want them to compare. If it was just me and no Gym Crafter site, I'd have two bars. I'd have my rep stainless steel power bar, and then I'd have a beater bar to use in the landmine.
Okay.
And that's all I'd really have. I mean, I don't need a safety squat bar. I certainly don't need the I don't have shoulder issues, so I don't need the multi-grip bar. You know, they're fun to have, but honestly, I don't use them a whole lot, if ever. So I've got a video coming out on the biggest mistake that I made building the gym, and that's building the gym that I thought I should have and not the one I actually needed and would use. So a lot of these bars and things, I'm like, well, I should have a safety squat bar, right? Like that's something you should have in your gym, or you should have an easy curl bar, right? So
Sure.
You know, and then I end up never using them. So it's a lot of this stuff is really, I'm going to use it for videos and I use it for the site and reviews and hopefully to help teach people how to pick the right bar for them. But it's not something I need or use myself. But the wall looks cool, right?
Yeah, it looks great. I love the that you had the Home Depot hooks with the plastic cover on. That's like a great economical solution instead of that whole like gun rack, basically.
Yeah, the gun racks are expensive, man. I couldn't bring myself to spend that much money on them. Plus, most of them aren't lined with UHMW, so they're metal.
Yeah.
And for me, metal on metal is just not spend that much money and then rack your barbell on metal just didn't make a lot of sense to me. So yeah, so thanks. Yeah, that was just something I try and do some stuff myself.
Yeah.
Down below, I've got a bunch of kettlebells, sandbells.
Yeah.
I've got my primal bells from On It. I've got some kettlebell king stuff, some rep fitness bells. I've got some sand bells, which I don't know that On It sells those anymore, but I use those all the time.
Okay.
Kind of a soft neoprene bag filled with shot.
Oh, interesting.
So they're kind of cool. They shift. So they're good for grip training, and they're good for like if you do Turkish get-ups with them balanced on top of your hand instead of holding them. It's kind of a cool thing. I use them for slams and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
So
cool.
Yeah, I got the treadmill, which I use for walking more than anything else.
Nice.
But I think that's, I'm a big believer in, there's the two camps of all cardio and no weight training, or all weight training and no cardio. And honestly, I think the answer is somewhere in between.
I agree.
So I've got that. And then I got a bunch of accessories and stuff. I've got weight vests and mobility tools and foam rollers and dip bars and rings. Rings are a big part of my training, so those are great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
Got my adjustable dumbbells over here.
Power blocks.
I've had those longer than almost anything else. The longest I've had is the Chimp Primal Bell.
Okay.
That was the very first thing I bought in the current gym.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Yeah,
I've heard really good things about the power blocks. Like everybody I've talked to that has them absolutely loves the heck out of them and uses them forever and ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's let me I don't know. I don't want to mess up your recording.
You're good. Go for it.
Until I can actually sit and look at you.
No problem.
Let's see here. All right. That was something I didn't show. That was a plyo box.
Nice.
All right.
There we go.
There we go.
Sweet.
So yeah. So that's the gym.